Listen, fear is the #1 dream killer in the world. Not failure, not rejection. Fear. Fear will have you talking yourself out of blessings before you even get to the door. Fear will make you play small, hide your gift, and settle for less than God intended for you. But faith is the exact opposite. Faith says, I can't see it yet, but I know it's there. Faith says, it might not make sense right now, but I'm stepping anyway. Say, the enemy of your destiny ain't the struggle. It's the voice in your head telling you you're not enough. Let me tell you something. Every great thing I ever did, I was scared when I did it. First time I stepped on stage, scared. First time I got on TV, scared. First time I made a big move with no safety net, terrified. But I did it scared, because I knew if I waited until I felt ready, I'd be waiting my whole life. Fear whispers, what if you fail? Faith shouts, but what if you fly? And let me tell you, you're never gonna know if you can fly until you jump. The Bible says, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That means fear didn't come from him. It's an outside voice trying to keep you from what's yours. So when that fear shows up, you gotta answer it with faith. You gotta remind yourself of every time you made it through something you thought would break you. And here's the truth. Faith doesn't remove fear. It just gives you the courage to move anyway. Faith is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start with small steps. Do the thing you've been putting off. Have the conversation you've been avoiding. Apply for that thing you think you're not qualified for. And watch how doors start opening. Because fear might show up in your life, but faith is what will carry you through it. Asterisk C. Fear is tricky. It don't always show up as panic. Sometimes it shows up dressed like being realistic. You know what I'm talking about, that little voice that says, well, maybe I shouldn't try that right now. Maybe I should wait until next year. Maybe I'm just not the type of person who does that. Nah, that's fear wearing a suit, trying to sound smart. But here's the problem. Being realistic has killed more dreams than failure ever did. Every time you talk yourself out of starting, fear wins. Now faith. Faith don't need all the facts. Faith just needs a vision. It needs a little light in the dark. It needs a mustard seed of belief. And let me tell you, God specializes in taking mustard seeds and turning them into mountains. I remember when I was sleeping in my car, I didn't have no safety net, no plan B. All I had was a dream, a gift, and a whole lot of faith. Every single night I would pray, God, if you just give me one shot, I promise I won't waste it. And you know what? He gave me that shot, not because I was the funniest guy in the world, but because I kept showing up when fear told me to. Quit! That's what faith looks like. It's not glamorous. It's not always Instagram worthy. Sometimes faith is just getting up and trying again when yesterday knocked you flat. Here's another thing. Fear loves company. You hang around scared people too long, you'll start shrinking your dreams to fit their comfort zone. You tell them you want to start a business, they'll tell you all the reasons it won't work. You tell them you want to move to another city, they'll tell you it's too risky. That ain't advice, that's projection. They're putting their fear on you, but faith loves action. You hang around people who walk in faith. You start believing bigger. You start thinking, if they can do it, why not me? That's why you gotta protect your circle. Keep people around you who push you to go higher, not folks who clap when you stay the same. And I promise you this, fear is loud at the start, but it gets quieter the more steps you take. The first step will feel like jumping off a cliff. The second step will feel like a leap. But by the time you take the 10th step, you'll be looking back wondering why you didn't start sooner. Because here's the secret. Fear is only powerful when you stand still. Once you move, fear loses its grip. Asterisk. Now, I want you to really hear me on this. Your breakthrough is on the other side of fear. That thing you've been praying for. That blessing you've been asking God about. It's already there. He's already lined it up. But you gotta walk through fear to get it. And I know what you're thinking, Steve. I'm scared. Good. That means you're about to grow. You can't grow in comfort. Every level I ever reached in my life came with fear standing right in the doorway saying, you sure you want this? And I had to look fear dead in the eye and say, I didn't come this far to turn back now. See? The reason faith beats fear every time is because faith knows the outcome before it happens. Faith says, I'm not just hoping it'll work, I know it's already mine. And when you walk like it's already yours, you move different, you talk different, you make decisions different. Let me tell you a secret. Fear ain't gonna disappear. Stop waiting for that. Fear will still be there, but you'll stop giving it power. You'll stop letting it drive the car. You'll put fear in the back seat, strap it in, and say, you can ride along, but I'm the one steering. And when you get on the other side of that fear, when you look back at the thing that had you paralyzed, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna say, man, I was scared of that. That's what had me stuck for 5 years. And then you're gonna realize it was never that big. It was just dressed up to look bigger. So here's my challenge to you today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, do one thing fear's been keeping you from. Make the call, send the email, step on the stage, walk into the meeting, sign up for the think. And when you do, you send a message to fear. You don't run my life anymore. Because the moment you choose faith over fear, you set the whole chain reaction in motion. Doors start opening, people start showing up, opportunities start chasing you down, and you'll realize you were never waiting on God. God was waiting on you. Walk in faith, move in faith, live in faith, and I promise you, you'll end up in places you never even imagined.